COVID-19 is an acronym representing coronavirus disease of 2019. The official name, or the government name, if you will, is SARS-CoV-2, which stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2. The 2 shows you that we've had other coronaviruses present in the human population for a while, but this one is a novel one, meaning that prior to December 2019, this particular strain of the virus was not present in human beings. It mutated from being present only in animals to being able to cross species to affect human beings, and now can be transmitted from human being to human being. It is for the same reason that some people are referred to as Titola, Jushotingo, Equiatundra. It is on the premise that of what the virus looks like under the microscope, right? So coronaviruses are a group of viruses that under the microscope look something roughly like this, excuse the bad artwork, but it has its RNA apparatus in the middle, which is what allows it to replicate and causes problems once it enters the host body, and then it's surrounded by a lipid and protein wall, which has spikes on it, or spires on it, which look like a crown. So under the microscope, it looks like a crown around the RNA apparatus, and Latin for crown is corona, hence the nomenclature coronaviruses. Prior to December 2019, this particular strain of the coronavirus, which is SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19, did not exist in the human population. However, in December it mutated, and this is an important thing to know, that the virus has the ability to mutate. The reason it has this ability is that in its replication, once the virus enters your body, it uses your host cells, your cells, to multiply and divide. And in this process, it's a very inefficient process. So rather than just producing two very identical versions of itself, as it's multiplying and dividing, it keeps creating different versions of itself, which is what makes it very difficult to find a particular cure to the virus. It's the same principle on which HIV operates, and that's why there is no definite treatment for the virus as of now. So far, what we know is that it spreads via droplets. So an infected person will cough or speak, and droplets containing the virus will be spread through the air. Current information tells us that it stays in the air for only up to about 3 hours, but once it lands on particular surfaces, it can stay for varying amounts of time. So we know that the longest time it stays is on plastic and stainless steel, where it can stay up to 3 days. On stainless steel, sometimes even more than the 3 days. And so this is important to know, because it is the spreading and how quickly it does this that makes coronavirus especially dangerous, and which has led to it becoming a pandemic. The virus has an incubation period, which is the time where you have become infected but are yet to show symptoms, of up to 14 days, right? So this is what informs the current directives on how to control the pandemic. Anywhere between 2 and 11 days after you pick up the infection, you could begin to show symptoms, which is why even if you aren't showing symptoms, we are encouraging everybody to isolate, because even if you aren't showing symptoms, you could be infected and you could be transmitting it and infecting other people. On average, every infected person, as at now, is liable to infect 3 other people. So this is what makes the isolation with or without symptoms absolutely important. Once a person gets infected with coronavirus, there are some people who will have been infected and never show symptoms until they've built enough antibodies and the incubation period is passed. But for those who will show symptoms, the initial stages they are very non-specific symptoms. So there are symptoms that might be present in other illnesses, such as malaria even. and that's tiredness, weakness, loss of appetite. And then the more specific symptoms are the fever, the cough, and shortness of breath. These symptoms, in addition to recent travel history, personal travel history, or contact with a person who has a travel history to a place where COVID-19 has been confirmed, is what leads you to become a suspected case. If you can breathe, please stay at home. That's the most important part. If you can breathe, please stay at home. Reach out to a health professional, either someone you know personally or any of the COVID-19 hotlines for further guidelines on what to do. Because you have to understand that if you are infected on your way to the hospital, you may infect other people. Secondly, if everybody that shows the symptoms shows up to the hospital at the same time, the healthcare professionals and facilities will be overwhelmed, and the effects of that might be even more disastrous than just the effects of the virus. So please, if you can breathe, stay at home, reach out to a healthcare professional, and we will help you get through this period. What you can do is begin to battle the symptoms individually. So if you are having a cough, get cough mixture. If you're having a fever, get paracetamol, Tylenol, Panadol. Try to avoid ibuprofen and diclofenac or any other NSAIDs. It's been shown to be able to possibly make the situation worse. Lots of fluids, lots and lots of fluids, very helpful in this situation. And try to get as much rest as possible. All this while you're trying to reach out to a healthcare professional to give you further guidelines and clarifications on what to do. And then if your symptoms fit the case description, you will get tested and we will know for sure. The goal of all the interventions being put in place is to flatten the curve. What do we mean by this? The biggest concern in any pandemic is the number of people getting infected over a period of time. If the pandemic goes unchecked with no interventions, what we see is a curve like the first one over here. A large number of people getting infected over a short period of time. This line represents the capacity of our healthcare professionals and facilities. With a large number of people getting infected over a short period of time, you can see that it overwhelms the healthcare capacity of any nation. So the goal is to change it from this initial steep curve and flatten it out so that less people get infected over a short period of time, and this allows the healthcare capacity of the nation to work effectively. So that's the goal of the interventions. The first step is to limit contact. It's a disease spread by contact. And that's limiting contact either by the isolation, quarantining, or physical distancing, allowing a space of 1 meter around you, between you and the next person, essentially limits the ability of the virus to spread. Secondly is hand sanitation. Washing your hands with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer with alcohol percentage greater than 65%. So you want something between 70 and 90%. As said before, this is a lipid or fat wall around the virus, and you have to imagine it's like cooking with grease, oil, or butter. When you're trying to clean out the bowl, if you don't add soap, there is no way the water alone is enough. So please, soap and water for 20 seconds, or alcohol hand sanitizer 70 to 90%. You can build your immune system up. You have to imagine like going to war. Every country has an army, but your ability to win the war is greatly dictated by the strength of your army and how well equipped it is. So equip your army. Make sure you are eating healthy fruits and vegetables, foods rich in vitamin C and zinc. If you can get these supplements pharmaceutically, that helps as well, whether it's vitamin C tablets or zinc tablets. Make sure you're exercising, make sure you're drinking lots and lots of fluids, and just generally building up your health and immune system. This will give you a better fighting chance in the event of an infection. As of March 30th, 2020, there is no specific cure for COVID-19. However, the therapy is largely based on symptomatic management or supportive management, meaning the body is equipped to fight off the virus, except that sometimes it needs a little help. So that's what we do. We fight off the fever, we fight off the cough, we fight off the shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, and allow the body buy it some time to be able to fight off the virus itself. So that's what therapy is centered around. There have been some promising results in treating COVID-19 with chloroquine and hydrochloroquine, but as of now, information on that is still quite limited. So that's for the medical aspects of COVID-19. Just a little recap. The most important thing is to limit contact. Stay at home, isolate, physical distancing, hand sanitation, very important, soap and water, alcohol more than 65%. If you do develop symptoms, don't rush to the hospital. Call somebody. If you can breathe, stay home. Call a health professional, either via any of the hotlines or somebody you know personally. Build up your immune system, fruits and vegetables, build up your vitamin C and zinc stock. Make sure you're drinking lots of fluids and exercising. And most importantly, stay calm. Don't forget to breathe daily. Be grateful for the things that are going well in your life, and know that we will get through this together. Next up is the more fun part with the socio-economic impact of this pandemic.
Don't touch your face. Don't touch your mouth. Wear your mask, wash your hands and sanitize. Make you no touch your food.